temperature acclimation, drip acclimation, freshwater baths, observation quarantine tank, prophylactic treatments, tank transfer method, nets versus hands versus container. How would a beginner not feel overwhelmed about adding fish to their tank? I'm Matthew, your BRS beginner guru, and we're going to teach you how to add new fish to your aquarium. Why is this such a tricky topic? Well, because there are so many different factors and there's just not a one-size-fits-all solution. On top of all that, hobbyists just don't agree. First off, are you buying your fish from a store that treats and quarantines them all first? Or does the stress of a prophylactic copper treatment lead to a higher mortality rate due to stress than just adding fish directly to your tank? Do you happen to know which fish are prone to certain diseases and which ones will tolerate treatment? I can't answer all these questions, but I can give you targeted beginner strategies that will decrease fish mortality and keep things simple. Let's jump right into the nitty-gritty with step 1 of adding fish to your tank: buying from a reputable source. Either you're gonna have to choose a local fish store that you trust or buy from a reputable online seller. I've personally had good luck over the years buying my fish from Live Aquaria, TSM Aquatics, and Seahorse Savvy. But there are, of course, other good online retailers out there. Step 2 is to buy captive bred fish whenever possible. Captive bred fish are not only tank raised, not only disease and parasite free, but they're also preconditioned to eat standard aquarium foods. I know it's not always possible to buy captive bred, so just do your best. Step 3, make sure your display and quarantine tanks are ready. Your display tank needs to be cycled and your quarantine tank needs to be set up and ready to go. Step 4 is to temperature acclimate your new fish. I do this with all of my fish regardless of where I buy them from. Our goal here is to reduce stress. Start by dimming or turning off the lights in the room and then turn off the aquarium lights. Then just float the bag in the aquarium for 30 minutes. This is especially true if you bought from an online retailer, but don't open the bag during this time. Step 5 is to drip acclimate, but there's a huge caveat here. You're only going to drip acclimate fish that were shipped to you, not fish that were picked up from your local fish store. During shipping, the pH in the water from the bag probably dropped really low, so drip acclimation will be important for equalizing those out. But only drip acclimate for 30 minutes. Any longer could possibly stress out your fish due to a low level of oxygen in the water, and it could also reduce the water temperature by several degrees, which can also stress out the fish. But remember, if you bought your fish from a local fish store and just brought it straight home, then you only need to temperature acclimate, not drip acclimate. Step 6, quarantine. I was talking to Elliot, the owner of Marine Collectors, who, by the way, is a quarantine expert, and here's the advice he gave me. He prophylactically treats all new fish with a mix of copper and nitrofurazone as a baseline. But personally, I believe this is going to be too complicated for most beginners. So I asked him, what's the bare minimum? He said a 30-day observation-only quarantine tank with no medications between 75 and 78 degrees. But what if you have a brand new tank with no fish in it? Can you just skip the quarantine and put those fish directly into the display tank? Easy answer, no. Since your display tank is already sterile and disease-free, what's the point of possibly adding disease into your new system? But what if you purchase a fish from a company like Marine Collectors, TSM Aquatics, or Seahorse Savvy, all of which quarantine their fish? Do you need to quarantine then? Well, here comes another simple answer for you. No, you don't. But if you buy from an online vendor or the vast majority of local fish stores out there, then do a 30-day observation-only quarantine, no medications, and keep that water between 75 and 78 degrees or higher. Step 7, move fish from your quarantine tank to your display tank. Start by turning off your display tank lights and leaving them off for 24 hours. If you are adding fish to a brand new display tank, then just use a gloved hand or a net. If you're using a gloved hand, be sure to place your other hand on top of it so the fish doesn't jump out during the move. It goes without saying, but obviously don't use your hand if you're dealing with a dangerous or poisonous fish. But what if you're adding your new fish to a tank that already has fish, especially if they're aggressive or semi-aggressive fish? Then you're going to use an acclimation box. If you use an acclimation box until the new fish is not only settled in, but until the other aggressive and semi-aggressive fish just start ignoring it, you will reduce fish mortality almost to zero. Keeping your fish in the acclimation box for 1 to 2 weeks is usually sufficient, but feel free to do it longer if there are still some aggressive fish that seem to be pestering the new addition. You can easily build an acclimation box yourself with a piece of acrylic and some drill bits, or you can purchase something like the CPR Aquatics large in-tank refugium, which will work well for most small to medium-sized fish. This all sounds really easy if your fish are healthy, but what if you have sick fish or fish that you are worried about that might be diseased? Is there an easy way to treat those fish that has been proven to work? Why, yes, there is. Watch this video that Elliot and Ryan made to learn how. And as always, everybody, thanks for watching. Happy reefing, be well. We'll see you next time.